Welcome to our podcast. We are on our superhero edition, and we are so excited to have Brenna with us today and being our superhero. So, I just want to kick off the podcast with getting to know you. If you'll introduce yourself, your name, discipline, and how long you've been in the role.
Hey, I'm Brenna. I am a general sonographer. I have been scanning for about 12 years now and 6 years with Anders Group.
Oh, we are so honored. And I mentioned before we went live that for us, it's always fun to put faces to names. We get to see so many of the names and voices throughout the years. And just we're honored to have you with our team and the impact you make to others and to be a part of that. So, just a really big thank you for that.
Thank you.
So, now I get to go into my fun questions. So, I love to ask what inspired you to get into this role? Like for me, I really didn't know healthcare until I got into the recruiting space. And, like what was your kind of inspiration to take on this career step and get you started?
Yeah, so I didn't really know healthcare either. I had always been told that I should be a nurse, and I had no interest in that. Respect them very much, but not for me. So in my early 30s, I had a friend that was a general sonographer. I think I knew that sonography was for babies, but not for all the rest of the stuff that we do. And I was kind of in a in between spot with trying to figure out career moves, and she was like, check this out, I think that it's something that you would fit into. So once I shadowed and figured out like what we actually do, it felt like a good fit. So went in.
Yeah.
Always like to meet new people, and yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, I love it. And I do think ultrasound, you definitely think babies. I know I always tease you get that joke with every ultrasound you do, whether or not it's a baby.
Yeah.
But just even in my own personal life, I've seen how it's made a difference in ways you wouldn't have thought. And so I just commend you for taking that leap into the role and again, the difference you're making. That's the whole theme. So I'm going to say it a lot. It's just thank you. And, those ultrasounds find things that make a huge difference on somebody's life and you are making impact. And so I feel like that kind of jumps into the next question of, when did you feel like a superhero? I always say within HIPAA rules, no names and all that. But, I would hope you have that moment where you were like, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be and I'm making a difference. And I know there's hard days, but like maybe a good day, not necessarily that moment was good, but it had a good outcome, hopefully, when you knew you made a difference to somebody.
Yeah, I think it comes back to after. So there's been a couple of times where I've had, a patient, the doctor's order didn't seem quite right to me for what the patient was describing. So dug in a little more, asked them questions, talked to the doctors, and ended up getting some serious diagnoses that would have been missed otherwise. So then having the family members come back after and let what a difference you made for them, whether their family member made it, didn't make it, whatever the outcome was the them coming back and being like, you made a difference, your compassion made a difference, your diligence made a difference. And so yeah, I've made some great relationships with patients in the hospital. And it feels good when you go that extra effort and it ends up working out.
Just thank you for doing that. And I've said it a few times. I feel like your every day is hard days for people. And I think that that has to be taxing on you to see these emotions day in, day out. And so we just, especially on our end, want to say thank you for making that difference. I know sometimes you don't ever see the other side of all the things. And so you are making such a difference to so many. And we're so grateful for what you do and being a small part of that. And that kind of gets into the travel side of it. Why did you take your superpowers on the road? Like, what had you look into travel and kind of maybe the impact that's made for you?
I've always been kind of nomadic, like haven't stayed in one place more than a couple of years. Um, but it's the challenge, the challenge of getting into a new environment, seeing how well you adapt to new people, new doctors, new routines, new locations, learning from all of the new teams that I get to work with. Everybody does things a little bit differently, and it's awesome to be able to experience that all over the country. So I thought about travel before I even went back to school for ultrasound. So it was on there. And
I do feel
then
like that's such a common theme, like the sense of adventure. I do feel like you got to make the most of every day, and I think travel lets you do that both experience wise, but getting to see new places and just feeling like you're getting the most out of every day for sure. So, what's the coolest place you've been? I always think that's a fun question too.
I mean, for work.
Well, like, maybe the play outside of it, like, I didn't know if it was, like, because I feel like I get asked that because I love to travel too, like, "What's your favorite?" I do have a hard time answering, I'm like, "I love the
Yeah.
beach, I love gold, I love," I think everywhere has somewhere to offer, but I didn't know if maybe one place you had that kind of like, I remember one time being in Hawaii and being like, "Wow," you just kinda look around, like, "This is incredible." I didn't know if you kinda had that moment when you were on the road anywhere.
I mean, I've driven across the country 4 times now by myself for this job, which I absolutely love, stopping everywhere. I think the Pacific Northwest would be the spot I feel most at home.
Yeah.
Absolutely breathtaking. Anywhere, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, Northern California, the landscapes are just insane.
I hope you stop to see, like, the biggest ball of yarn and all of a sudden
I've
stop
done some
more.
random,
And
yeah,
then
there's like
courageously
a,
too, that's the part of travel, like, you're so brave to do the cross country trip, and that's a leap of faith in itself, and so just thank you for doing that and, again, serving communities that would be without the travelers, so we are just so honored and to know you and to work with you and just thank you for being a hero. Everybody says, "I don't feel like a hero," and absolutely you are. You make an impact and you're making a difference to others. And I think that's all we could all hope to kind of leave an impact like that. And so just thank you for all you do and for giving. And we're so grateful for you.
thank you.
Appreciate you being a part of our podcast.
No problem.
Bye
Appreciate you having
bye.
me.